just let the show start. Sorry, oh my god.
It's the crypto life, where we do it right. Taking flight, taking it to new heights. Cause CryptoWiener doing what it do. A project by Ron, blockchain crew. Repping it for Vienna all day. We do it big, the tokenization way. Cause the culture and art stored on the blockchain. That's why it's flying, just like a plane. The OG project started in 2018. Inspired by CryptoPunks living the dream. Famous people in 32 times 32 pixel style looking hella cool with virtual reality gallery and parties. This the Cryptovoxels army, and we are pixel rebels, a great community with the pedal to the metal. And with our friends we unstoppable, cause in crypto anything is possible. Shout out to Ed Gang, Art Block, Saver Stars, and Edman True, cause we taking it far. Yeah, you know what it is. This is CryptoWiener.
So shout out to CryptoWiener, which has done this great song to promote his platform, where you can mint 32 by 32 pixel art, and it's a great project. So shout out and welcome to the MightyMai show, episode 5. Thanks for being with us. Shout out to all TokenSmart team to have been that inspiring this week again and again. And so big shout out to the community as well, to the crypto music community. And I wanted to start before we jump in. I'm showing on screen a portal in Cryptovoxel made by Billboards, which does the project Metaverse Billboards, and it's a great portal with a lot of projects all around, that you can meet in Cryptovoxels and explore. And thank you, because he mentioned geniuscorp vinyl shop as well, as being one of the early supporter from my album and blockchain project. So thank you, and yeah, I will drop the link in the description of the video, so you can explore the Cryptovoxel world and a lot of great artist galleries and ongoing projects in the metaverse. So yeah, shout out to Billboards. And the last mention is shout out to Eclectic Method, which we loved and which is doing great work. Again, striking the community, striking crypto art and making a remix. This one is a Fewocious remix, and I just wanted to play it real quick.
How I started the art kit, save up my money from a clothing drop I did, run around and gift passes to classes, expand my knowledge. I know way more than I did a month ago. I'm just excited to watch my art grow. Now with crypto, all of that's dope. Draw, and keep drawing. Draw, and keep drawing. Draw. Digital art. Thank you for my heart. Crypto art. I'm still learning as an artist. Digital art. Thank you for my heart. Crypto art. You got this. Just get better. I'm getting older and it's coming together. But look at my stickers. I always use primary colors. Bananas. I kept posting and they would recognize who I was drawing. I don't want to sound annoying. I just want it to be amazing. I draw and keep drawing. Oh my god. And everyone will be like, oh my god. Oh my god. I didn't want to do a bad job. Oh my god. And everyone will be like, oh my god. Oh my god. Crazy things I would never have thought of. The world today.
So shout out to Eclectic Method, and I know he's been improving lately, and today he had a talk with Bootsy Collins, who has entered the NFT space, and they had a talk in Clubhouse today, but I'm still not allowed to go into Clubhouse, and this is very divisive stuff, as I'm on Android. I don't have an iPhone, but I tweeted I hope this will be recorded and that we can see the legend Bootsy Collins talk about NFTs and what's up there. And so big shout out to Eclectic Method. So welcome, Mai. Thank you for being here tonight again, rocking the music and blockchain space. How have you been this week?
I've been I mean, that's a heavy question to hit me with. You know, I didn't expect you to hit me with such a deep question right off the gate.
I know, I know.
No, but I mean, good though, good though. I mean, ultimately, you know, we're making we did a lot of things this week that were intensive. So, but we're on the tail end of it, which is good. Um, but yeah, no, I'm just
Transformative
continue
work.
creating stuff. Yeah, yeah, and I'm excited to share everything at some point soon, hopefully. But and also, you know, while I have the thought in my mind, the CryptoWiener, is that his name?
Yeah.
Uh, whoever, yeah, I don't know if there's an actual crypto artists involved with that whole situation, but yeah, all if there are some, you know,
Hmm. Yeah.
I would love to get in contact. But
Yeah,
but
sure. It's a great project. A lot of art, pixel art, have been made through this platform.
well, that's dope.
So let's go, and I have my foreword of the week. A few topics I wanted to mention before we dive into the topics actually. So tonight we have a special guest, which his name is Craig Blackmoore, and he's an artist from the crypto artist community. He's involved in the metaverse as well, in the virtual world. He's producing a lot of visual and music content in a wide variety of genres, and I'm very excited to have him participate in the show tonight to talk about his work and have some thoughts about the ongoing news in the music. And so, yeah, this week has all been again about bugs, gas limitations. It's the frustration versus being grateful of being here. And I think it was like a sentiment that already existed like early 90s in the internet, where you could picture 10 years 15 years ahead what would be possible, and you're stuck with the tools of today, and it's just like sometimes it bugs a lot and stuff happens, but it's not as easy as your mind can picture it. But and sometimes, especially when it comes to technology, it can be very frustrating because you think very fast, and then there's a lot of things occurring, whether it's about the gas, whether it's about some bugs, whether it's about but it's all good because at the same time, I think everyone is aware that we are very lucky to be here and very grateful about this opportunity to learn about the space and participate in it. So it's a good versus evil kind of situation where, on a human perspective, sometimes it's a roller coaster to deal with. But it's all good. It's taking a good shape. The evolution goes quick. The adoption as well, as we are about to see, and yeah. So what's more exciting to me is that the music and blockchain space is now very tangible. We can pretty much see with the tools that exist today that we can touch it. It's not like in 2015 or 16 where the concept was here, but there it was more imagination than concrete. And today we can touch the tools that allow us to say, okay, that's it, let's go all in 100%. We picture it, we see it's very early, and the tools are not very all ready or coordinated all together yet like it should be. But we can definitely see it, feel it, touch it, and so yeah, that's very interesting, and I think is the reason why we start to see the officialization, like the cloud going all around. It's not only about Bitcoin, but I think it's as well as many artists and big artists understanding that it is now very tangible. So yeah, and So the last thing I wanted to say is thank you for the tips from last week's show, because we realized later that we received tips and it was like incredible. So thank you. And yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah,
We
shout out.
can. Yeah.
About to say shout out. I think it was Drago Nate that dropped a late night treat for everybody at one point, which was fire. I think that's who it was at one point. But and shout out everybody else that was also dropping tips.
Yeah,
I actually
absolutely.
I'm gonna expose my ignorance real quick. It's like I just realized that tips have a monetary value to them. So it was
We are
quite a
learning.
surprise. I was like, oh okay, this is like actual money. That's crazy.
We are learning.
It's just it is what it is. But hey, that's what we're here for. You know, it's all about balance, guys.
Sure. So, maybe I wanted to play just a quick music before we start to talk about all the topics of today. And it was one of my NFT that I wanted to showcase again, that I feel went pretty underrated. So, yeah, just wanted to.
We should have a segment called underrated NFTs.
Absolutely.
This could be the start of it. This is the start of that segment right now. Underrated NFTs, episode 1, segment 1. Which one is it? What is it? And why is it underrated? Why is it underrated too? And yo, by the way, that Yusha, that question, we'll definitely answer that. My bad.
No, go.
Yeah, he asked a question earlier. We're definitely gonna we'll answer that.
Yeah.
In a little bit.
Stay calm is not a challenge. A unicorn and my life change. Magic drip from the skies. Swap that shit, learn to fly. Meet at the pop-up, meet at the whip. Dress yourself up, girl, don't be a creep. Look at the waves, bro, look at the trash. In that ocean, now we're done with the clash. So chill, there are cheats in the game. Why many peeps are just here for the fame? In a quant world, what's a bluebird? I don't know, it's just a show. I get high on a nifty way. Heading to the moon, I'm not going back. I'm not going back. I'm not going back. I'm not going back. I get down on a nifty way. Heading to the moon, I'm not going back. I'm not going back. I'm not going back. I'm not going back.
So, big up to Samet Tulça. Yeah, it was a collaboration between Samet Tulça, which is a Turkish guy, and me, and he did the beat, and I was
gonna say, who played that bass line, dude? That bass line.
Yeah, it's him. It's his bass play. And yeah, when I was exploring the Metaverse, I met his work, and I absolutely loved it. Anywhere I can find a SoundCloud link or something to listen, I always go to check and learn something new. And I discovered that beat, and immediately I started to singing to it. So we talked a little bit, and he was all up, and we did this collaboration, and it's now out on Known Origin.
But what's Known Origin? What's this?
Known Origin.
Oh, Known Origin.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, because we were able to split up to 2 addresses. So we split the royalties together, and yeah, that's it.
Well, that's dope. Well, that was episode 1 of underrated NFTs.
And it's ours.
It was pretty underrated. That bass line is funky as hell. Like, I don't know why somebody wouldn't want to own that bass line, basically.
I don't know. But yeah, so we can.
The visuals fire too.
Thank you. It's me doing the weather forecast, but with
with certain technology.
With charts. No, with crypto charts.
It's hard maybe.
Anyway.
Oh right.
So this week in the news, we heard about Grimes. We heard about Murdabeatz, the producer. About Post Malone, Pokemon. About Justin Sun, the boss of the Tron blockchain foundation, about Lindsay Lohan, about a lot of celebrities that reached the space, and a lot of different stories interesting to analyze. Especially the first one being Grimes, which it's in the, everyone knows about it, is Elon Musk's girlfriend, which has a music career since quite a few years now and pretty successful. And it's very curious because she recently announced a drop at Nifty Gateways in a few days now, end February. And it's curious to see, like, the same week Elon Musk went all in into Bitcoin, and he doesn't talk about NFTs or yet. He's not involved in that deep in the space, but at the same time, through Grimes, the message come out like, hey, drop on Nifty Gateways, So I found it pretty interesting move to see on that side. And so have you heard about it first?
Yeah, I heard about it right after we talked about it right before the show, but no, but this will be an interesting one to see. I mean, I think right now, whenever I see another celebrity get involved at this point, and I realize it's still super, super early, I think like what I'm waiting for is that one person who does it so uniquely and does it in a way that is going to kind of be a
Yeah.
blueprint for a little while. I'm kind of waiting for that moment, and when I see it, we're striking. But no, like no, but seriously, that's what I see. I do see that that's like the thing I'm waiting
No,
for because at
I'm
this point, anybody's able to make an NFT, and I think people are also are able to just make whatever and mint it. And I think that we're just gonna see more and more of an influx of just more creators, which is a good thing. But also, that's gonna then uh, mean that I need to like these celebrities are probably going to be the ones that are then going to push the boundaries because they'll have the reach to do it, or they'll have the means to maybe create something
sure,
really
sure.
interesting.
Yeah, I'm
So I'm interested to
definitely.
see that. I'm very excited to see it.
Yeah, I'm definitely all about letting myself to be surprised by very different configuration, different type of creativity, and whether it's among the community or it's among new player entering the space, whether they are wealthy or not. It's all about the creativity, really, and it doesn't matter in the end. The piece is what really matters in the end, and definitely in relation to being on the blockchain and here forever. It's We can relate to the debate about the man versus the art, but I think with the blockchain concept, the art will remain maybe 1,000 years after the man. So I don't know what to think about it, but it's interesting to think that way.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, it will be interesting to see how we view like these types of assets,
Hmm.
quote unquote, until at in 100 years, and fuck, 50 years. It'll be
Yeah.
interesting.
So we saw Murdabeatz as well releasing his first NFT, and Murdabeatz has been producing most of the big names today in the trap hip hop movement.
This is crazy.
And
I'm real interested. I'm real interested to see what he did.
and yeah, it's on screen right now, and it's just an image, and he made a 10 edition, and you told me like you were curious if at those price those were selling, but it seems like they sell. He have sold like 7 of them, and what's interesting to see is that and I try to move the screen, but there's a bid from the Team Soldier Boy team, which is interesting because they are already understanding the interest of supporting themselves together in that collaborative environment, and so it's more likely that we will see Murdabeatz buy Soldier Boy NFT and back and forth, and different kind of celebrity artists. Um, it it made me think of something that happened today when I was diving into what people were thinking about all the celebrities getting into the space. the positive comments, the negative comments, and so on. And something that was pretty blatant was the fact that if you want to be part of this community and understand what's the deep roots of it and where it goes, it's about being supportive as well. Like, you cannot just show up, sell a 50,000 NFT and bye bye. It's like, before you sell, maybe try to buy first. Like, try to support an artist, try to get involved into the ecosystem by supporting the art of each other. If you want your NFT to sell and be part of the community, it's about giving, receiving, but not only receiving, you know. So it was interesting to see here the Team Soulja Boy bidding on Murdabeatz NFT.
No, you're totally right. I feel that a lot. And I saw somebody say earlier, gatekeep the gatekeepers. But and it's
Yeah.
interesting. It's an interesting thought because, you know, ultimately that's just up to the market, quote unquote, or that's up to like the people that are in the market that are buying. And I think on some level, we're still going to be kind of more seduced into glorifying the celebrities' approach to doing anything. You know what I'm saying?
Because
Not even in a
yeah, go ahead.
what? No, yeah, that's pretty much all I was gonna say. But I mean, but yeah, no, it doesn't have to be viewed like that either, though. It's like I said, it's up to the community, so it's really just up to us to actually have like kind of maintain that thought process.
No, but a thought I had this week when I was thinking about the show was one of the comments and outcomes I came with was something like, you know, you let me think a second. I just had it. It went out of my mind.
This is a good one to see though in Murdabeatz. I like seeing like him like sell these successfully because he's somebody, and 10 is a good number, I think, of like additions to keep it exclusive and it be like a one, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I like that.
Yeah,
And I
absolutely.
like how, you know, he has a little bit of extra bonus in the description
Yeah,
and stuff. So I mean,
I have
it's
my
interesting.
thought back.
What'd you say?
I have it back.
You have it back? What do you mean?
Yeah, my ID. It was talking about the fact, like, when it's interesting when it comes to entertainment industry, because I think one thing the celebrities tend to forget is that this space particularly has been built on, you know, the trying to escape from the old world, and
Definitely.
it's definitely this space considered more than other space that the problem directly or indirectly comes from, quote unquote, them. So I think this is where the paradox occurs when we can see a lot of positive and negative comments, because in this space more than elsewhere, people tend to not forget that we are here because things have didn't work out well in the old world. So, and there's a lot of defiance because of that when a celebrity come in, and so like you said, gatekeeps the gatekeepers, because everyone is watching very carefully about every move, and the blockchain allows this as well and doesn't lie. So you have this move where everyone is very vigilant on how to welcome the new people in the community.
Yeah, I totally agree.
So moving on, we had Post Malone and interesting talks about live shows. Like, I feel the very big stars from today, like Travis Scott, ASAP Rocky, Post Malone here. If they don't come into NFTs yet, I think it's because it's too early and there is something they can solve before, which is live events. And we saw John Legend a few last months that did a really successful live event. At the same time, we saw Travis Scott on Fortnite, and now we are seeing Post Malone in partnership with Pokemon, which all of those names are big AAA names, big names, and so I think their current focus isn't about NFT yet, but is about solving the virtual world economy, the live. I mean by the live show economy, like they
I can
can
feel
have
that.
a gig out there. So the first priority I think for them is figuring out of their communities that are big enough to drive traffic into live shows and can generate pretty good incomes this way, combining the video games world and these big stars.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting thought. I do think that it brings me back to like the celebrity thing. Like we can't really avoid the celebrity kind of bringing a large amount of attention at once to the space. And I do think with live events would be sick. Like if they did all kind of band together and do like a metaverse exclusive show, that
Mm-hmm.
would be that would be sick. I mean, and then we could just be the loudest community there. I feel like that would probably be our best bet is to like just, like we can't like I said, we can't avoid like something like that happening where a lot of non-crypto people might tune into something like that, but
Mm-hmm.
then we just need to make sure that we capitalize on that community coming in, and when they come in, we just basically pull them into our ecosystem. I mean, really, that's probably the most diabolical way to think about it, I guess you could say. But like, it's something to think about, I think, because I don't think it's really something we're gonna avoid. Because, like you said, like if someone like Post Malone and like say Travis Scott and all these people, and they created like really like visually stimulating characters in the metaverse, and they put on these shows that were only for the metaverse, it would be dude, it'd be game changing. It would be so sick. I would love to see that. You know what I mean? Like everybody
Yeah,
has their own character showing up at like a metaverse show where songs that are only gonna be played there will only be played there. You know what I'm saying? Like that'd be crazy. I mean, it would be a lot, but I mean, definitely something that I'm interested in. I would love that.
yeah, definitely. And so I would love to play a little bit of the Travis Scott song, but I will be striked on YouTube, and I don't want that. So
I feel that. I feel that.
moving on. The last topic before we introduce Craig Blackmoore with us um, is kind of wondering from myself, like a conspiracy theory around XRP and disrupting the music industry. And there is some mystery I cannot solve, but I decided to bring the light onto it. And it
I
came
love
to
this.
me because this week, Taylor Swift, everyone pretty much knows about Taylor Swift, a pop singer, um, declared that she was about to release, like to re-record her music again because I don't know if you heard this story, but Scooter Braun, which is Justin Bieber's manager, and he's managing a lot of successful artists as well, has bought the entire Taylor Swift catalog. So Taylor Swift is no longer able to benefit from her royalties, and that's pretty much a crazy story. So that's I don't know how to qualify this, but at the same time, Scooter Braun is involved with Ripple and XRP to disrupt the music industry, and he has founded, in collaboration behind the scenes as well with Kanye West, an a company called Raised in Space. But what I don't understand is how someone can at the same time disrupt the music industry with the blockchain and on the other hand buy an artist's entire catalog to private him from his royalties at the point where this artist declares that she will re-record again the songs to benefit from it. It's total nonsense for me. So I don't know what the rabbit hole is here, and I've seen some screenshots that definitely Ripple, Kanye West, Justin Bieber, Scooter Braun, a lot of connection there are happening in the music ecosystem. But it's do you see what I'm trying to point
I
to?
like this theory.
It makes no
Yeah,
sense for
definitely.
me.
I like this theory. I like this theory a lot. No, this is definitely a rabbit hole.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
you're just teasing it right now, but I mean, we could go deeper.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, Kanye West dropped some screenshot about
This happened a while ago, right? Though I believe that like
the
this whole thing
first time he
happened a
bought the
couple years
catalog.
ago.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah,
Good to go.
But then like is she just now releasing that music that she re-recorded? Is that like what's happening soon?
yeah, definitely.
Okay, because I feel like I remember this story, but
It would be interesting
yeah,
to
no,
see how she release it, if she go through a label or if she go
Somewhere. That's a huge world.
on the internet.
I was wondering what that was. But yeah, no, that's crazy. I'm interested. Is this what the Ripple and X music is? Is that what is that what we just talked about?
Yeah,
Because I'm interested to just okay, because
yeah,
I was gonna say like I'm interested to see what's going on with them as well. I don't know when that whole lawsuit thing gets settled or whatever, but I'm
yeah.
interested to see how that
I
pans out.
I was lucky enough to talk to someone that developed on by his own initiative a music solution based on XRP, which was called X Songs, and in beta, but working pretty much. It was very efficient. You can buy a song with XRP, but I don't know. He moved on another project, so I think it's becomes secondary. But at some point, some softwares have already been developed based on Ripple and XRP technology. So yeah, it will definitely have to keep an eye on that side for music as well, as there are some big connections within the industry, big actors.
Right.
So
Yeah,
it's
no, that's interesting.
just before we introduce Craig Blackmoore with us, I think you can try to do a mic check to let us know that you're here. And at the same time, yeah,
Craig. Yo.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
yeah.
What's up, dude?
What's happening, guys?
It's great. Good to have you, to hear you.
I'm happy to be here.
Cool. So just before we dive in, the last thing I wanted to mention was the thing around the Tron blockchain, because there was a supposition that the Tron blockchain was paying all the celebrities to talk about Tron, to promote Tron over Twitter, and the boss of the Tron blockchain denied, saying no, it's not from our foundation. A third partner is currently promoting the stars about the Tron blockchain, but it's a very curious move because it was about Lindsay Lohan, Liliachi, Neo, some curious name, randomly dropping some Tron tweets like, hey, this is the best blockchain at the time of mass adoption where nobody knows where to go, where to look, where to, it doesn't sound really ethical here, or it can be questioned. But yeah, that was the last thing I wanted to talk about before we introduce Craig Blackmoore with us. So
Yeah, do you think that worked? Do you think it worked? That's the question.
I don't know. Yeah, a little bit. I'm sure it gets a lot of attention.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, I mean, I would imagine that, if you're totally right, it is like it's a hot time, and people who are barely getting braised with the thought of it are probably seeing that tweet and might actually like follow it. They're not involved
Yeah,
with the crypto community, so they're not seeing all the tweets that are like trashing it, and they might not even be able to really even understand like a sarcastic response to a tweet like that.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Because they're so new to the idea of it. So
Yeah, it can be misleading a lot, I think, this kind of strategy. But it is what it is. We'll see. So let's go, and hello, Craig. I wanted to play a song from you before we start, which I was thinking about. I Am Eternal on your audios. What do you think?
That's a great song. I think that would be a cool thing to set the vibe.
Okay,
Hell yeah.
so let's go. I Am Eternal from Craig Blackmoore, and let's go. Okay, so we're back with Craig Blackmoore, and thank you for being with us.
Oh yeah, it's a great track.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's
Thank
a
you.
great
Yeah, I'm
track.
glad to be here.
Yeah, I explored a lot of your work before getting into the show, and I was really impressed by the wide variety of all genres, whether they are visuals or music, that you are experimenting with. Like I heard some dubstep, some electronic music, some chill vibes, trip hop. I've heard some vocals here and there. I don't know if it's you or collaboration, but I was curious to like, you are very prolific in every ways, and I've seen you released a music NFT with DAO Records as well. So yeah, you can have a few words to introduce your vision, your dimension. Yeah, I just wanted to say that before we start.
Okay,
You're
yeah.
very talented.
Well, yeah, thanks for exploring it. I'm always like, my mind never slows down. I'm always thinking of new ideas, even when I'm working on a new idea. New ideas pop in my head. So it's like, it's hard to stay really singular with genres and mediums and things, because it's like, I want to try it all. And yeah, with the vocals, that's me on the vocals. Usually there's a few songs that I have rappers or singers featured on there, but 90% of it's me. That's what I started out doing before I actually started producing music, was rapping and singing on other people's beats and things like that.
Great.
But,
That's fine. How'd you get into producing? Do you like that last track, you produced that whole thing as well?
Yeah, no, actually that project, I Am Stardust, is it's kind of a sample based project. Like I dig so many different sides of production, and I first started producing like in 2007. I was in high school at the time, and I was messing with like Fruity Loops. It was still Fruity Loops back then, and which is FL Studio now. And before that though, I was rapping like all through high school and middle school. Even before then, I had a rap book. I used to write lyrics, and throughout high school and early college, I used to do battle rapping. And it was kind of interesting because all I used to produce was hip hop stuff until like the end of high school, like beginning of the college days, a lot of my friends were kind of, because I had all hip hop friends. I'm from Detroit. So all of my friends were kind of like, yeah, dog, you know, dubstep is cool and electronic music is cool, but you got to stick to what people know, and people like hip hop. So leave that other stuff behind. So I would actually produce the electronic stuff as an alias in secrecy and only put out hip hop things. And at the time it was cooler to work with famous producers and shit. So yeah, but
so when you say like you created an alias, like, do you look at this space as a way to kind of let that alias live more freely?
That alias disappeared. It's gone. Like after a while,
you're fully you've taken the mask off. You've just accepted that that's the thing you're doing now.
Yeah, and actually, the name Craig Blackmoore is an alias. It's just an alias that I've been sticking to since high school days.
Okay.
So many people think it is actually my name. Like, it's tied closely enough to me that people think it's my name, and when they find out it's not, it's kind of surprising. But yeah, like hip hop is where it started, and now it's just everywhere. I can't stay in one space.
That's what I feel, but that's also great. This space allows this, like, you know, people are no longer defined or have to stick to one genre because they are stuck in some mechanisms, a perception mechanism. Here it's all on the blockchain, so it's not about perception anymore. Whether you can play with it, play with your promotion, with your marketing and so on, but when it comes to analyze your work on the blockchain, there's no perception anymore. It's just checking the facts.
Yeah, and that's a really cool thing that I like about blockchain is coming into this space was kind of like starting over in a way. Like, I got the opportunity to kind of analyze my artwork and think about doing singular projects and things that are kind of like fall in line with an idea, like an ever-changing idea. Because for so long, you know, electronic music scene is over 10 years old now, or like EDM scene is over 10 years old now, and rap is way older than that. It's just kind of, it's time for some new stuff. And blockchain has created such a new portal for my head. Like, I'm going down a whole different route.
That's what I mean by that, is that as you no longer have to stick to one genre, the blockchain makes all of the pieces like a statement. Like, here I decided to do this genre, this or this kind of experiment, different things, but it's like
it's like a new medium.
Yeah, like a statement. You're proud of the kind of thing you do. You make the statement like, hey, I do all these various things, and that's me. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, it's exactly that. And, you know, I've even thought about changing my name again, but I'm just like, nah, dude, I can keep this Craig Blackmoore. I can actually personify it into like this little cartoon character I have of my face and stuff. You know, I'm trying to give it more faces now and turn it into like this weird brand that isn't a brand. You know, it'll make more sense later though. These are just big ideas I have that I'm trying to kind of build a story behind and develop, so that way it can talk to more people outside of blockchain, because that's something that's big. I want people who don't understand this to understand this and come into this world so it can become, you know, like a normal thing. And art is doing that. And
it's awesome. Like, it absolutely. I totally feel where you're coming from. It's almost like I said this earlier, but it's like, it feels like it's like a new medium, and it's like we can get away with, not get away with. I probably not the best way to put it, but like we can put more. There's like more room to create a more intricate like funnel to like having people consume your art, and it's like, I love the idea of being able to like have like a digital character and a representation of it that only lives within this meta world. And I think that type of shit is the way, is gonna be the wave. I do think that that's gonna be the thing. Like some kid's gonna learn how to render at the age of 12, and by the time he's 16, he's gonna be making meta music all in the metaverse. It's gonna be the craziest shit we've ever heard.
And it feels so open but exclusive at the same time, because it's like anyone can get into crypto and NFTs and all those different things, but it takes the effort to know how to invest, know how to buy, know how to like stay private, use the different addresses. It takes a little bit of effort that many people are still afraid to jump into. So it's like when they see your new image and your art that leads to these currencies that they don't understand and all these weird looking codes, they're like, whoa, I don't know what this is, but wow.
Well, but like you know, it's interesting you saying that. It makes me think, like, you know, people buy Xboxes that are $400 and they buy and then they buy games that are $60 on top of that, and it's like they know how to work that, and they know how to like kind of like figure all that out. If we could make this whole process feel like that, feel like a game, feel as smooth as it is, and as rewarding it is as it is when we play like video games on highly developed systems, I feel like that could be something that could help bring more people involved, because then it would be more beneficial. I mean, we've obviously seen blockchain games and things like that, which is obviously successful because of the fact that there's like a game aspect to it. But yeah, I mean, once there's like open marketplaces in these things and you're able to kind of create your own games, I think that could be something else that could really like bridge the gap almost and make it more accessible.
Definitely. Absolutely. Because people want to understand games, you know. People are still afraid of crypto because it resembles stocks so much, and it's just like such a serious thing that folks are like, you know, I'm afraid to get into that. But it's literally no different than buying a game currency.
It's crazy. The psychology of it all is actually really, really interesting. But yeah, no. Yeah, I love it, Sandy. Stocks are traps. Crypto's the way. Yeah, I feel it. I totally feel it. I think, I won't lie though, I do think that everything is going to crash when it crashes. But like, you know, what will retain value long term is really the question. Yeah, I think a lot of stocks are beat for sure. But that's a whole other thing.
Right.
So
it's the cyberpunk aspect.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. So I mean, when did you like first? I'm assuming we're gonna probably showcase an NFT of some sort. If you, I'm pretty ignorant, but like, when did you
Super
first?
Rare.
When did you first? When did you first get into making NFTs, and you know, how did you make your first one? Like, what inspired you to like tokenize something, and yeah, how'd you get into that?
I got into crypto in general like 2016 ish, and that it was still just trying something out, so I didn't take it seriously. You know, everything crashed, or before everything crashed, I sold everything and didn't really hold too much over the years. But one of the reasons that I got into like crypto and blockchain was because I saw articles and stories about how artists and musicians are speculating what blockchain technology could do for the industry, you know, paying out royalties or authenticating artworks or things like that. And that is really what got me interested in the technology. Right. But eventually I kind of just forgot about it. You know, it was just something I saw online, pretty interesting. I always paid attention to news that happened with it, but I never dove into it until a little over a year ago, like the beginning of 2020. Like right before the pandemic really hit as hard as it did. I was just bored. You know, I had art and whatnot, and I was doing the same things that I've been doing and had a couple shows lined up or whatnot. I'm just like, this is cool, but this is old. What's going on with that blockchain art thing I saw a while back? Like, what's happening? What new is happening with art? So I just started to Google. Also, I was looking for new investments to get into. That was another thing. I was trying to invest in something else because I did notice how the virus was beating a few other countries. So I'm like, something big is going to happen and I need to grow some cash some different way. So I looked into crypto and I tied it to my artwork, trying to see, what was going on there. And I ended up finding OpenSea and NFTs. And I started to just read, what's an NFT? What's the idea behind this? Oh, it's kind of like Pokemon cards or baseball cards. You just create your own collectibles. So I was like, what the heck? I had some Ethereum. It was really cheap at the time. I think it was like under $200 at the time I first started doing this. So I had nothing to lose, technically. I was like, I'm just going to mint a bunch of art and see what happens to it. And if anything happens to it, why not? It's like Instagram, but it can pay directly in a currency that may grow over time.
Exactly.
And so I uploaded about maybe like 5 or 6 different things, and a couple people scooped a couple of them up, and someone reached out, a good friend, Marco, he's NFT.black. He reached out and pretty much put me on game about what was happening here, like what the NFT world is about, and showed me Cryptovoxels and Decentraland, and I'm like, wow. Like this is a great idea, whatever this is.
A shout out to him.
So,
he's been supporting my work as well, and I'm very grateful because I'm learning so much through his work. And so big shout out.
Huge.
Yeah, it's so, I felt like I had just stumbled into a new universe, which is actually a fitting universe though, because I used to play things like IMVU or other little like virtual worlds and stuff back in high school or early in college. Life. And I'm like, this is cool because I felt Second Life, and I felt like I was wasting time back then. I'm like, I'm doing all this for nothing, but now I can do the same thing, and I'm actually investing in technology.
That's the feel.
So it's perfect.
I knew someone.
I feel that it's.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it might take us on a tangent, but I was gonna say like it goes back to the same thought where like I have that this is gonna help create a middle class of creatives, of like a feasible way for us to make enough money every year to actually sustain like actual 9-to-5 quote unquote would be beneficial, but also even more so too. It doesn't have to be so. It doesn't have to be middle class either. But this has definitely added an avenue of potential monetary success, which I feel like we try to avoid like maybe at times, but like we can't ignore the fact that the technology is there to help benefit our means of valuing and sustaining its value. So I think that's something to keep in mind. But yeah, no, it's all good. I'm excited to see how it develops, because the technology being the thing right now, it's interesting to see when the technology is so well developed that it's like not a problem anymore. How kind of user interfaces and maybe like just apps and certain things will make all of this more fun.
Super
like
smooth.
like a video game.
Yeah, and what's paradoxal to me is like I knew someone that was animating a radio show on Second Life like 15 years ago, literally, and at the time I was thinking like, why is he wasting his time? Like, it was for nothing because there was no infrastructure like we are seeing today, and here I am today animating a show in a virtual world, in a virtual metaverse kind of community. And so this is paradoxal to me because I met this kind of profile. About someone being passionate about the virtual worlds and all the possibilities it would bring, but I at the same time there was no monetary layer onto it, so it was hard to see what was the interest for him to spend his time being on that virtual world yet.
Yeah,
it's awesome. It's exciting stuff, and I am looking forward to when, like you were saying, the technology is perfected, and because then that opens just so many opportunities. Like selling event tickets to actual live events. It's just a new wave of monetization that's about to happen.
Yeah.
And we're all artists, but we're also building these new skills. Like, we understand this lingo
Right.
now,
Mhm.
and that's very valuable to a lot of companies. They never thought that they would need artists to teach them, you
Yeah.
know, about the new financial systems that are coming.
Yeah, absolutely. That's paradoxal too. And yeah, I added this topic on the list, which I called stream of consciousness, but that's an idea that was mentioned by Matthew James, and shout out to him. And it's the idea we're currently talking about, like minting or, you know, using the tech at the same speed as we think, you know, as speed as our mind is able to think. And that would be the stream of consciousness, you know, right onto the blockchain.
Yeah, we're a very short distance away from just plugging right into this wave, this stream, like mentally just plugging right in and just
Yeah.
being there.
Yeah, that will be,
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see
a
the
paradigm
steps that-
shift.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's what will shift it is really the question. How it's shifted is going to be also is what I think is going to determine whether or not the market is very valuable or as minimally valuable as possible. If you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
will they try to minimize it to like to a point where it's like, you know, NFTs are being sold for like $5 now, you know, because maybe gas is zero and there's all kinds of other things figured out, and it's like there's so many people here now that it's like, you know, it's just unfathomable to see things being sold for like $10,000. But there are still things that will be sold for $10,000, $20,000, $100,000, $1 million. But those things will be by very, very well developed collectibles that are valued for reasons that we won't know now. Where I think once content itself becomes more exclusive, then this will make this space infinitely more valuable. The more exclusive we make content as a whole, good content as a whole, as a community, that's probably, I would say, like my greatest thing that I'm trying to do is like if I can put all my good content in a blockchain way, like, and make it unlockable or difficult to get to, which I realize has a bit of a sour taste for some people, but like I think it's like once more good content becomes exclusive, it'll make more people kind of go into it. But it's also like that's going to take a shift. It's not like there's going to be like a stubborn creator that's going to change the game. You know, it's not like that perspective is going to win. I just mean once more people start doing that, more even popular creatives like celebrities doing things like that will I think will bring more people in, and it will make content itself more exclusive and good content itself ownable and collectible and valuable.
Yeah, I think eventually NFT prices are gonna mirror prices in reality. You know, like the more exclusive on-demand stuff is gonna be just as expensive. But there's some people who are gonna sell, you know, $40 prints or around $40 because the value of crypto is not gonna always match the value of the dollar. So,
Yeah.
but it's gonna be gauged around that. You know, there's gonna be some folks who have inexpensive, but you know, 1,000 of them available type things, like tangible goods, actual items. And
Right.
I'm actually kind of excited for that because I'd love to never have to turn any crypto into fiat again.
Yeah.
You know, if I could buy milk as an NFT, I'd buy some milk, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think
But,
that's far. I mean, in a way, like, I mean, if I know that we talked about this last week, I think actually, or maybe we didn't, but MasterCard and Visa, like I mean, it's just rumors, I think, 'cause I don't think there's really
no,
any
it's
solid.
definitely solid. it's
Oh,
more
it's
than
solid?
rumors at this point. Yeah, definitely. They
I
are
love it. So if
partnering
you
with
say
all the
if you
payment
say it's solid,
gateways.
oh shit, someone's straight taking a piss right now, and I love it. No, I mean like
Stop.
it's amazing. Yeah, that was like midstream, bro. You gotta let the pressure out now. But like, someone said ooh. Dude, are we 7? But no, but
Do you have
what were we talking about?
do you have an additional thoughts? Like, or I wanted to ask another question.
What was? Oh no, the reason I was gonna say that is because yeah, dude, if I could easily just put like the crypto that I have in like say a crypto wallet into like a credit card that then swipes at every gas station, yeah, bro,
Mhm.
that's gonna change the game for sure. That would be
But
crazy.
that's happening.
That's something I
That's
could
happening
really
very
see.
fast. Mm.
No, no. I hope, and if that, yeah, and I think that that is going to be huge though. Like, so when you say like, you know, I want to buy milk with it, I think that's not far away. And if that
Yeah.
starts to happen, I do think that it will be. But think about the genius of just like taking everybody's crypto. Then that's basically what they're going to be
Right.
doing. They're just going to be taking everyone's
That's
crypto.
that's the worst part about it, is that you're not giving it to another like equal peer for a good anymore.
It's
You're
actually
gonna
the
be
most,
surrendering in it to
dude. Yeah, bro. Exactly. It's actually a genius. It's a genius tactic.
it is.
Wow, they're so
That's
good.
what's gonna happen. It's just like with gold,
They're
you
so
know.
good. They get us every time, huh?
Right. Yeah. That's why I keep telling folks, like, yeah, don't fall for trading crypto on Robinhood or stuff like that. You know, like get your stuff, lock it up. And if you want to play with like some values of crypto, do that on Robinhood. But lock up your Bitcoin, because there's not, you know, there's only so much. That's what they're trying to get it all. You
Mhm.
know, Tesla comes and buys a chunk. That's their chunk now. That means
Yeah.
somebody's going to be borrowing that or letting people trade from that stockpile. That's never going to leave their possession.
Mhm.
Right.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, yeah, that's what I mean. Like we can't really fight like the institutional adoption into this. It's just going to happen. It was just like YouTube, you know, YouTube at one point you could actually search for shit and find it. Whereas now you search for the wrong thing and you're just gonna get a bunch of CNN videos or like
Yeah.
controlled opposition, like straight up. Like they took away all the good stuff. You gotta know the right YouTuber or something to actually get some good info on YouTube and shit now.
Mhm.
So it's like the technology was new. They didn't know how to stop it necessarily, or maybe they didn't foresee us being so curious. It's or so disclosure, whatever, disclosing all this info. But so yeah, I think like it's gonna be very similar how it adapts here. Is like, you know, at first they're like, you know, not worried about it, but it's the second that it becomes a known thing to them, it's like, all right, this is a clear competition, we have to get involved. Like they're just gonna get involved. Well, either that or they're not gonna be able. I mean, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know how this really goes mainstream. I really don't. I think it's a really, really interesting. It could really end interestingly, but I think ultimately they have to adapt, and I think this is something that we all know, at least, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think it's something like oil, you know, where all the folks who are here early got it early. And if you keep it and keep investing in it and get as much as you can early, you'll probably end up in better condition after the regulation passes and everyone's buying in and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. And I was curious to ask about like today. Before I ask about what your thoughts are on the you know this week's news, but just before that, what are you thinking about in terms of projects? What are, you know, the fancy ideas, disrupting new things that you would be able to share with us? Not disclosing everything, but I mean interesting ideas you'd like to share that you see from your point of view that no other maybe people really sees.
Well, digital currency and digital realities are a whole different dimension. You know, it's a dimension that people are introduced to through social media and YouTube and things like that. But we all are a little more familiar with the potential of this dimension than they are, to the point where a lot of people are taking life savings and putting them into this banking system that lives in this dimension. You know, people are putting a lot of faith into this. We're building real estate. We're buying and selling real estate in a digital dimension. And that is what really fascinates me about it. You know, like, yeah, it's, you can make a lot of cash. Yeah, it's, you can become famous or whatever, but it's this is really big for virtual reality and virtual, like the metaverse and things like that. Like this is the closest
Definitely.
I believe it's ever been to actual reality. And I don't think enough people are really like focusing on that thought right there, or maybe enough people are, but a lot of people aren't. And something that NFTs are going to do that, you know, something I plan to work on is like you have Mint Base allows you to sell like tickets and things as NFTs. And Cryptovoxel is a VR world that you can access from your Oculus headset. And those two things right there just tells me like, okay, so I can actually ticket people to enter the metaverse physically and digitally, you know, like ticketed events and things like that. That I can't wait for society to open back up. And hopefully by time society opens back up to normal, everyone, or at least a lot of people, are into this idea, because I think that's what we're going to see a lot of. I personally want to throw some live events that you can only access through an NFT in a certain location. And I think that's a real big thing.
Whether it's
but my next
virtual
personal
or physical
crypto project. Oh, what were you saying?
I was saying whether it's a physical live event or a virtual live event, NFT would work for both. We were talking about it last week.
Yeah, and I think that's cool.
Yes.
And you have like a lot of different museums of crypto art and things like that living inside of these virtual worlds. And there's one thing though I haven't seen yet, and I don't know if it's a version of it coming or whatnot, but there's no church inside of these crypto worlds. Not necessarily one tied to an exact
Interesting.
Take it there, bro.
Interesting you brought that up, because I found a very spiritual dimension in your work, whether it's in the music or in the visuals, and some symbolic and some. So I was curious about that aspect from how you perceive your experience in that, you know, kind of agnostic space where there's no church, where the tech is basically the god. I don't know how to put it, but
I mean, technology is a god. You know, it has so much control, and in crypto in general, like for example, the XRP loyalists, you know, like there's some folks who are very religiously attached to specific coins and specific blockchains. Yeah. And
I fuck with XRP.
Yeah, you know, but there's folks who are hardcore, like not even just XRP, but I just noticed, you know, XRP has some hardcore folks. I know a dude who literally every status he posts on Facebook every couple of hours is some weird cryptic message about XRP.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's
fanatism.
That's
weird,
weird,
in
man.
the crypto space. Definitely, there's a lot of fanatism.
No, I feel you though. I feel you.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's different. I don't hate him for it. I'm not against what he's doing. I think that's crazy. I think it's awesome, like good crazy. So I want to play with that, and I want to kind of use that as satire to kind of explain to people who may not be aware of what even XRP is, to kind of explain like why something like that has loyalty through, you know, this crypto religion. So that's a project I've been working. I haven't released any NFTs lately for a few months, because I just kind of wanted the hype to kind of level out a little bit, and then I was trying to think of a project that can be fun, entertaining, and educational in some ways. Yeah. And I think I'm gonna create a church of crypto.
Dude, I love it.
We will come and pray with you.
Wait, how much of this are you willing to divulge right now? Because I'm pretty interested in this topic.
As really as much as possible. I got a lot done on it. Like it's just about ready for me to start dropping trailers.
So do you have, that's fire. So it's a music project. I'm assuming it's an album on one hand. Does it have visuals tied with it? Does it have?
It's got everything tied with. Yeah, it's got visuals, album. See, okay, so before I got into crypto, I was doing something that I created called Dreamaganda.
Do you have commandments?
I will have commandments, but they're coming later. It's gonna have a lot of aspects of religion. I grew up pretty religious. I'm not religious now at all, but I grew up really closely tied to Catholicism, Southern Baptist, Apostolic, and non-denominational Christianity.
Gotcha.
So I got a lot of perspectives of how this one idea is being sold.
Right.
And I want to implement all of that into this
I love it.
This project, because it is a new idea that I am trying to sell.
What's your take on it? Do you think that what you have learned from all that history is are you gonna play on it? Are you gonna almost reveal what it really means? Like, how are you playing on the info that's already there?
I am going to I'm gonna reveal, I mean, nothing that hasn't been revealed already. It is gonna be satirical, like a satire. There is, deities that will walk amongst people, or seemingly walk amongst people. There's pastors involved. I'm not gonna go into like the typical. I'm trying to stray away from like Satoshi memes and things like that. I'm not gonna jump too deep in it. I'm trying to create like kind of my own little roster of people. There are gonna be some cameos of things like that, but my vision is kind of like when you go to sleep with the TV on back in the 90s or whenever, and you wake up to all these infomercials.
Yeah.
That's the idea I'm gonna start from, is like television church.
I like that.
Yeah. And we're always gonna be asking for tithes and offerings in exchange for blessings, and
perfect.
It's gonna be fun. There is gonna be music.
Gotta give your 10%.
Absolutely. And specifically because I'm African American and my little gallery space is in the one-off district, I am going to go a little bit into like the stereotypes of black churches too. So that's going to be kind of fun. Interesting. Because I've been dying to create something based around these ideas. So we're going to go through different cultures with this. So yeah, nothing's going to be offensive, but it is going to highlight very personal experiences from growing up in church.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. That's dope.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm going to have some just digital goods that are NFTs. There's going to be some tangible things. It's going to come out pretty randomly, but I am going to drop some trailers before the thing happens. And eventually my gallery that's on the screen right now is going to close down for construction. So,
okay. We'll keep an eye on that. So
check that out.
Definitely. And so, yeah, the kind of the last question I want to, not to end this, but like, what's your thoughts about, the roller coaster emotive ride of what's happening in the news, about the adoption, all what's happening with the celebrities and so on. What's your current, state of mind with all you've ingested this week?
Well, I'm not too worried about what's happening. Like, I'm at a phase with investing and like investing financially into it where I can kind of relax. And even if there's like a crash, I don't think I'd be too affected by it, because I got some things very cheap, and I'm pretty confident in the projects I've invested in. So even after, because it goes up and down, the charts do. And so even after all that, I feel like these projects aren't just going to disappear with their token or when a token drops in value.
Yeah.
And so I'm pretty confident in what I've got going on or how I'm seeing it. But I kind of expected this, like the Lindsay Lohan thing, and like you guys are talking about Tron and all that. And it is getting the newcomers. Like, I got friends who have just got into it and they're asking me questions about every step. And one was like, what do you think about Tron? It's getting a lot of good media right now. And I'm just like, research these things, look up their owners, look up what they've done historically. Like, because this is still the Wild West, crypto is still not regulated. And you're not technically going to go to jail for anything unless it's like money laundering or you screw a bunch of people over intentionally. So someone can push and promote a very garbage investment and put so much money into it just to pull in the newcomers. And that's the only folks I'm worried about, is because a lot of dumb money can hurt something good.
That's where we are talking about the Tron. It can be misleading to all the newcomers that don't know how the blockchain works, what's the blockchain, you know, and so on. And they would fall into the trap of just believing Lindsay Lohan. And so I understand the quick money, you know, earning quick money from those kind of events, but at the same time, it kind of feel bad because they are voluntarily misleading people for taking just a quick buck at some point in the ride.
Yeah, and you know, there's a lot of people who are graduating from trading on Robinhood to actually getting Coinbase or Binance and you know, dealing with real crypto. And I'm like, you're not going to be able to trade like you think you are. You know, it takes these transactions some time, and it's going to be messy before it's perfect. And I think we're approaching another point of messiness, because I think a lot of the new investors are going to get wrecked if they haven't already, and they're going to throw in the towel. And that's the shitty thing about the media being all this like mainstream media when you Google it, is because
I can feel
that is outshining the education to it. And the
I do feel that when I see all these celebrities and I see all these people like really actually talking about it and trying to get it more popping, it almost makes me think like, man, like this is almost like a signal to me. Like, and I don't really know that much, but I do feel you. I do think that early, like people who are just getting in, it's possible. It's possible. I could see that happening.
Yeah. But
the technology though, still going to be good either way, and that might be a good thing because then it might enable more people to get involved. But who knows?
Exactly. Yeah, the technology is what's going to outlive it. You know, it's what's going to outlive the hype.
And,
Definitely. And that's why it's like, you know, I'm you know, just going back to that same point, it's like once that technology is like fully developed, we figure out the best way to actually implement it and make things super smooth for people, so it's just like fun. It's like logging on to anything. Oh yeah, we did forget this one question, but yeah, I feel it. Someone jamming right now?
I think that's background music.
Yeah, it's me. It's
grooving, we were grooving hard, man. But beat boop. Yeah, I feel that. But yeah, this we did get a question from the audience that I did want to respond to, and we could all kind of talk about this. I think he's what was the question? He or she? Yusha. What was the question exactly? It was like how do you get into minting? How to tokenize music? Okay, yeah. Does anybody want to kick this off?
Tokenizing music, like technically how to do it, like just how to upload it.
I was gonna say, yeah. I think like maybe we could just like, maybe just as if like they do nothing. Let's assume that.
Okay.
He's brand new. Yeah.
It's interesting because I saw you made a video about how to mint music actually on your YouTube channel, and so you basically explained how to go through Rarible and Mintbase, for example, to mint an NFT. And very basic steps, like you have to have a wallet. In the Ethereum case, Ethereum being one blockchain, you connect to those website, and then you put your music or your artwork, and you have to pay some gas transaction fees, and then you basically have your NFT, your tokenized music. And in other forms, you can for example, subscribe to a streaming platform based on the blockchain, where you just basically create an account like on Audius or Emanate or Musicoin or different kind of platforms, where you just upload your music, and all the management of the tokens and are based on the blockchain, but it doesn't requires a kind of wallet, or not like a MetaMask or Ethereum. It's every platform has its own rules, its own configurations and so on. So when you want to get involved into a platform, you have to learn about it, how it works, on which blockchain is it based on, and all these kind of concerns. And yeah, Craig, if you have a word, because I saw you were documenting that, so you're participating into creating materials for the newcomers to learn quickly or quicker about this.
Yeah, I mean, the video that I did is actually, it's kind of updated now because a lot of those platforms have updated something about them. But it's pretty basic. Once you get a MetaMask, which is a wallet I recommend, and a lot of people recommend it, it attaches right to your browser. You put some funds in it, some Ethereum, and you check out one of the various platforms like Rarible or OpenSea allows it now. There's so many platforms now, but the three I covered in this was Mintbase, Rarible, and I think OpenSea. So I chose those three because Rarible is kind of basic for the it's like I guess kind of a community vibe to the homepage. Like when you go to the homepage, you see a splash screen of all the NFTs that are being minted or whatnot, or sold and bought and whatnot. OpenSea is similar, but you can create your own token to mint to. Rarible, you can do that now. Back then, I don't know if you could. Or at least I've never tried. But OpenSea was where I first was exposed to NFTs. So I like the idea of creating your own shop or your own marketplace and being able to have that in a giant listing with pretty much all the popular projects going on. And then Mintbase is kind of like you're creating just your own storefront. I know Dow Records uses Mintbase, or at least they did. I think they still do. But that idea of just having your own,
I have a contract on
this is it
Mintbase,
when you go,
actually. Yeah.
yeah, that's cool. So that's why I use that one as another example. But now there's so many other platforms that you can mint NFTs to. But the basic thing you need is a browser wallet like MetaMask and some Ethereum in it. And everything on these websites, it's pretty easy to understand. Like if you know how to fill out a Twitter profile or something like that, you can pretty much figure how to do this out. Beware of gas prices is what I always tell folks, because that can catch you off. That will catch you off guard. I'm not even gonna say it can.
Just about to say that will.
Yeah,
that
we have
will
another
card.
question about
Yeah.
minting, and like the question is, do you get your royalties for every sale? And so to answer this question, the answer is yes. And at the same time, the technology is developing, so it's not ready to the state where we are imagining very smooth, where everything is working, where you can split everything between all the actors into a piece. But it's coming. It's in the work. It's one of the priority concern for the developers, because the interest into the crypto artist world is mostly around collaboration, and so the platforms has to level their tech up to a point where it is fluent to split the royalties. And it's the whole concept of using the blockchain is to be able to use smart contracts to automatically execute when an event occurs, and so to automatically split the money between what's written into the smart contract. And so and this forever, like the whole time the Ethereum blockchain or another blockchain is alive, which is at least when there's a computer on Earth. So beyond the fact there could be a meteorite like striking Earth, the blockchain will still be alive, like let's suppose in 1,000 years. So, and during those 1,000 years, you will have your royalty paid all along, because the smart contract will continue to execute each time there's an event occurring on a piece of art.
That's a cool thing to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
this will be uploaded too, so you'll be able to like
That's
kind of
interesting. Yeah, I will be
listen back.
doing an experiment like where I want to release an NFT where it's around that concept where uh, the royalty rate will be just 1% and the price basically will be not free but like very cheap, and there will be just one edition, and the idea is to let the markets self-valuate the asset, and uh, needs a bet to say, okay, with just 1% royalties over, let's say, 1,000 years of blockchain, uh, this NFT itself could sustain, my future generations or whatsoever, your children's, grandchildren's, and only based on one royalties that only keeps 1% of its royalties. So it's a different perspective when you mint something, um, because it's two opposite view when you think about traditional commerce and market where you make your money on a one-time sale, and here you can basically think about an asset that will generate money for the next 1,000 years. So is it that important that you make your money today, or what you think about it? How do you perceive it? What's the life you want it to have? And do you want to block the access of that asset at the beginning by setting, I don't know, maybe to a price that is too expensive, or and limit the thing? The experiment will be about just drop it in the nature and then let it live, but with just only a 1% royalty, because it's incentives the people to play with it, because they will earn most of the value. 99% of the value will be going into the pockets of the secondary markets that are trading this asset. So it's a very interesting asset to trade, because you can keep off 99% of it, and it's I would say
No, that's
it
interesting.
helps
Yeah.
it circulate.
Yeah, definitely. No, I mean, I think that's not what everybody's doing too. So, I mean, that would stand out just on its own. That is an interesting idea. So you're saying like you wouldn't price it yourself, you would just let that bid
Yeah.
let it just kind of build a bid? And how long would you like put it for?
No, not. I don't know. I'm up to just sell it like for $10, or like the first offer, and then once it's sold, for me it's when it starts. You know.
Yeah. No, I feel what you're saying. But like that first buyer, that first bidder is bidding on something that is what at zero.
Yeah, that has no price. I don't know. I'm figuring it
Okay.
out at the
Yeah.
same time. I don't know if
Yeah.
it would
I
be a
would.
list price or a bid or something, but I would just let it go for like the first offer, something like that.
Oh, interesting. And it would be like a one of one,
Yeah,
and it would what would that song or thing be just like exclusive? And what blockchain you thinking?
Ethereum, basically.
Or I mean, I mean, like what platform is probably what I was probably.
Currently, I'm up to experiment the platforms that offers feeless solutions. So I'm trying OpenSea, and I'm thinking of Mintable too, but still on the Ethereum blockchain, because I really want to take advantage from all the ecosystem with the virtual worlds and everything around. That isn't ready yet for on other blockchains ecosystem yet.
Okay, that's dope. Well, yeah, no, that'll be sick. We'll be able to like showcase that too.
And so yeah, that was just me wanting to share this idea. But does that inspire you something, Craig?
Well, definitely. love the idea, like the royalties, automatic royalty payments, and just different ways to be paid. Always inspires me. and,
Right,
and
we
that's
can't. Yeah, absolutely. I feel it. I feel like
yeah,
that's something that we like almost are almost like don't want to like acknowledge, but like we have to acknowledge that like the biggest thing that we like about this technology is that we can monetize our creations much easier, or we can value our creations much easier and retain that over what we believe to be the future, which is just blockchain. So
yeah,
The future will be tokenized.
yeah.
The revolution will be tokenized. Sorry.
Oh, also,
no,
I
no,
wanted to say
hopefully.
one other thing about my art. So, like all the photos that you see of like the different
Mhm.
female models and male models,
Digital.
I took those photos myself. It's like I'm actually a
That
photographer,
was
and I'm
digital, bro.
so yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I
Sorry, I was
but
just reading the chat. I love
oh
it,
he
but
beat oh I see.
my man, I love it. I love it. Shout out to digital.
Yeah.
Hell
We gotta
yeah.
get digital on the show. We gotta get digital on the show soon.
Yeah. It's in the work.
But shout out, digital made the what's it called? The artwork for the no, bro. You're good, bro. I love it. That's just it shows how comfy the MightyMai show is. Everybody can just be chilling, doing their thing. Like
Right.
that's
We're
dope.
recording in the bathroom.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's a vibe. It's a vibe.
It
But
is. Human
you made the
fountains.
thumbnail. But yeah, no. Anyways, I'm sorry, dude. I did kind of interrupt you there, but
No, I was just saying because it's like a lot of my art, a lot of like the ones that actually have real humans have models in it, and those are
Mhm.
actual models that I've worked with, and they're all from my photos. Before I really was heavy into doing like glitch and things like that, I was doing photography, so I still do photography and things, but
Yeah, I
that's what I
absolutely love
usually
those.
glitch when I'm glitching.
Hmm. Yeah, love
that's
your
dope.
work. And I was curious about. I added a topic which is about animated music covers, and we talked about it 2 weeks ago as well. About the music length, like the new medium reshaping the music length and the covers for the music industry, the new standards for the covers. Like I tend to think that animated covers will be mostly the standards over those new markets for music, as long as I think platforms are taking this way, and that they will more and more, let the possibility for artists to put animated artwork in associated with music, and so as well as the way, from the GIF culture, that platform, by default set it the music by to loop. I think it's a by default choice from the GIF culture to set the NFTs into loop mode, and that they haven't been a new reflection. That is it a good thing or a bad thing to make all music loopable? I think in the future maybe it will be interesting to let the user be able to choose if they want their music to be showcased on loop or not. But the medium may reshape, like the radios shaped the 3-minute songs for decades, like the new medium with loops and everything may reshape the music length, and as well as the way we think about covers, artworks for music.
Yeah, that's actually really interesting to think about. Having
yeah, I was thinking. Yeah,
loops.
visual animation loops for like overall albums, and like just being able to go with what if you had the same album art in each song, it did something different, like the scene changed in a certain way
And to
for each song, but it starts with the same album art.
Mhm.
Whew,
to add up to
Yeah.
my reflection, the idea
that's
about
hard.
music
That's hard as
length,
fuck.
the idea behind music length is that with the loops, someone can listen, and I've been in that situation where you find yourself sometimes listening to just 1 minute of a song, and some other times you listen to one NFT for 30 minutes because you really enjoy it. It loops very good, and it gets you into a trance where you're exploring the metaverse and so on, being on Twitter, Discord, Cryptovoxels, everything, and the loops continue to play, and then you realize you just played it for 30, 45 minutes all long, and it was totally cool. And I think from an artist's perspective, it's interesting to think this new way to conceive, to produce the music as it can be experimented in that new form.
That is really cool. I always used to, like, not lately, but I used to think about the future of music being so custom with like EDM and dance music taking the stage. Everything is loopable. Well, not everything, but most of what's danceable in that is loopable, so it could be easily DJ'd and whatnot and mix and match. But I always imagined if in the future a song is actually customizable in real time, limited, like in a limited fashion by the listener. So like if you're listening to a song, how most artists drop remixes of their popular songs and whatnot. So if you're listening to a song and you're like, I actually want this to be a little hyper than usual. So like on Spotify or whatever, you tap a button to make it a little hyper, and the song literally seamlessly transitions into the same song, but with an added instrument or changed drums or whatever. And then if you're like, I want it to be chill this time, you hit it and it goes down to a stripped down version of it. And that's still just one song, but that song has customizable
like
parts of it.
I like that. That's a cool idea.
Fascinating. Yeah, very interesting, for sure. But the idea have been around, and I'm sure we'll see something like that.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's a really interesting idea. It got me thinking about some things. Like just
Yeah.
maybe you could just like, you could like tokenize each instrument in the song, and then just like,
Hey,
and then you could literally like put it all together.
that's cool.
And then
Tokenized stems.
yeah,
Sure.
I mean, I guess that basically is it, tokenized stems. Yeah, right, yeah. I love
I
it.
see
I love it.
Digital
It's a great
reacting
idea.
in
It's
the
a great
chat.
idea.
I think he likes the idea.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we will keep an eye on this as well. I think this is very interesting to think about, and we may have to maybe slowly close the show here. And I don't know.
We have been crushing it.
Yeah,
flowed
it was very
We just flowed right
interesting.
through the 7:30 mark. We didn't even question it. We were just like, we're just gonna keep it
Yeah,
going.
with a little bit of
Yeah.
editing, we will be at the 1 hour and 30. Perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah, I will try to cut out the bathroom moment, maybe, for the replay.
Now you got to
So,
keep that part.
yeah, maybe. And yeah, so that was a great moment, very intense, very interesting, and yeah, I'm really looking forward for next week. And yeah, I really want to promote your work. You can check Sir Blackmoore on Instagram, as well on Twitter, craigblackmore.eth, if you want to send him some love. As well, you can go check the virtual gallery in Cryptovoxel, which you can find the link on his website, which is cblackmore.com. And yeah, you can really spend some time exploring what the work is, because it's already pretty documented, wide, and at the same time artistically it's very, I love the work. Creatively it's unique. It's I can really feel your soul and your passion behind the dimension of your implication in the space, and I respect that a lot. It's very inspiring and and priceless to share thoughts with you on that, and I'm really looking forward that we continue to share and to look to your next project and so on.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me on the show. I had a lot of fun. And yeah, thanks for taking a look at my work.
Hell yeah, dude.
With pleasure. Yeah, absolutely. And
Keep innovating in the space.
yeah, and feel free to reach out when if you want to talk about something in the future or whatever, participate in any talk. You're more than welcome.
Awesome. Definitely want to do that. So I'll be hitting you up.
Okay,
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
So yeah, we talked pretty much about everything. Just one topic, but it's about loans for artists. You know, the way that we talked about it last week, that Ditto Music, the distribution platform, is releasing a new tool for artists to get loans through the blockchain. You know, so that they can avoid banks or labels to find funds, because today major company are mostly banks for artists, because artists are doing all the work themselves, and most of the work themselves. And so one of the last, puzzle pieces that would miss the artist set of tools to be fully independent would be the possibility to have crypto loans from investors, that a tool that would connect investors, and a DeFi loan system that would allow investor that believe in an artist to give him a loans, and then they can set a payback with interest and so on, but based on DeFi. So it's very interesting as well to see these kind of tools unveiling one by one. That completes the sets of the awesomeness we can experiment. But yeah, and we are done for this week.
Okay. Yeah, hey. We did it. That
Yeah.
was good stuff. It was a good guest. I'm scrolling through some of these comments. Yeah, shout out to Tuna. Are you guys uploading this episode anywhere? Yeah. All these episodes will be on Mighty's YouTube, Mighty33 YouTube. I actually have a playlist that I created on mine. I can send it.
Sure. So thank you, Craig.
Who wants to get married? I mean, that's ballsy. That's a ballsy ask in the Discord. Gravinator.
So yeah, thank you, Craig, and see you all next week. Thank you for all the support and the participation in the chat. It was awesome. Shout out to Vandal, DAO Records in the place. We're here, and we're hot. So yeah, a lot of interesting things to come over the next week. Stay tuned. And MightyMai show episode 5 is just over.
Wow, we did it.
Crazy.
Thank you.
So goodbye,
thank
everyone.
You to everybody.
Yeah, Craig, if you're here, thank you again. And goodbye, y'all. See you next week. And do I have a song to close this? Damn, I don't.
Oh no.
Oh no. Well,
I mean,
yeah.
I was gonna. I don't know. I don't know what to suggest. I mean, we obviously have many songs, but like.
You want to play one of yours?
I mean, we don't gotta do that.
Okay, I'm gonna play this one by one NFT that I'm about to drop.
Oh hell yeah! Yeah.
The 1% retirement plan. Goodbye, y'all. Good night. And shout out TokenSmart.